The Wayne Ayers Podcast. The Wayne Ayers Podcast. Woohoo! Time to wake your ass up for a blessed day.
What's up, everybody? It's the Wayne Ayers Podcast. We back, episode 61. We got a very special guest from the Supernatural franchise. Everybody knows I love Supernatural. And, we got she's starring the Winchester. She just made her appearance in episode 3. Bridget Regan coming in here soon. Hey!
Hi, Wayne.
How are you doing? Nice to meet you too. I hope everything's well on your end.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm really happy to talk to you because you're one of my favorite shows ever. So
No way.
Supernatural. Anything Supernatural is I love it. And then Winchester's oh my God, it has the same feeling too. Supernatural. So
did you watch last night?
Yeah, I love how they do just character intros. You just over here on the radio, and then next thing you know, you just over. I was like, oh, DJ Roxy into something.
Yeah, that was dope. I was so stoked. The look, the style, everything. Everybody turned it out, and I'm just so honored to be a part of the show.
No, yeah, I said, oh, DJ Roxy about to create some problems. Anytime they do a character introduction like that, it's like, oh, this character is about to create some problems for the entire season.
Those kids are in trouble. Yeah.
But how does it feel to be part of the franchise? Cause I was like, oh my goodness, it's really dope.
Well, I mean, to be honest, I hadn't watched the show before. Obviously, I knew about it. Obviously, I mean, it's a phenomenon, 15 incredible seasons. But it was one of those shows where it's when you miss the boat and then you feel oh, it's gone too long, and I somehow missed it. But I talked to Robbie in the beginning, and he told me which episodes to watch, and I was so impressed. The pilot is just perfect. It's so clear, the relationship with the brothers, and what the show is going to be, and it was really fun and adventurous. And then, of course, I watched the flashback episodes from Supernatural when you got to see, obviously, different actors than those that are playing it on Winchesters, but getting to have a glimpse into, what the Winchesters was going to be was perfect. It was a great setup. And I'm just so excited for the show. Obviously, there's clearly such an appetite for more in that world. And it's just really cool to be a part of. And, being a villain is my favorite job. So I'm always happy to do that.
Oh, what episode did it make you watch? Cause I was I really cause it's
I forget the numbers, but it's the flashback one where it's in the 70s and you see young Mary, and what I think there was just the one, but I could be wrong. I watched a bunch in one day, but my daughter was into it too, so I think we'll be watching a little more Supernatural.
No, yeah, that show is my favorite, one of my favorite shows of all time. So it's oh my goodness.
What do you love so much about it? Is it the
it's I don't know, it's everything. Even the villain characters, you just enjoy them too, because they'll even bring that humor to it, but they're also oh, you gotta remember they're devious as well. It's there's so many great characters throughout the series. That's one thing they never struggle with, character development and everything. It's just always been good. So totally. That's my probably the writing, honestly. Whoever does the writing, shout out to them.
Shout out,
but no, it's really dope to see. So you're playing a villain, of course. What can we expect from DJ Roxy?
Well, I have been sworn to silence, so I really can't say much. But as we saw in the episode last night, she's obviously working with the Akrita, and we saw her collect the essence of a monster and put it into this bottle. What she's doing with it, that remains to be seen yet. But I believe she's using her powers of on the radio station to call all of these monsters to Lawrence. And that's what's creating such havoc for the leads of the show, is that there's just this influx of monsters coming to the town.
Yeah, that's okay. I know. I feel like DJ Roxy and Mary Campbell is gonna have like a little clash. Like, did you get to work with Meg? I mean,
yes.
Yeah. So how was that?
Yeah, I've shot 3 episodes so far, and they're shooting in New Orleans, which is awesome, and one of my favorite places in the country to visit. So it looks incredible. Meg, the whole cast is so fun, so dedicated, and they're working really hard. They've got a lot of fight scenes, they've got crazy hours, and dealing with lightning storms and crazy New Orleans weather, and they're all just handling it with such grace and having a great time while they're doing it. I loved working with all of them, and yeah, I'm looking forward to doing some more.
I know like the show takes place in the 70s. Was there like anything on set that you're like, yo, I had to take this back home with me? Like,
want all of my clothes. Are you kidding me? I want, like, I'm wearing in episode 107. Carrie's got me in this like ridiculous black suede fringe jacket. And it's by this company Redone that recreates vintage looks. And so it's like, mwah, chef's kiss. I mean, everything, my boots, the leather pants, the denim, everything is like exquisite. I love every costume so much. And the hair and makeup, everything's just incredible.
No, it's like, ooh, I love how they have like the little, like, it reminds me of Scooby-Doo with the little mystery machine.
Yes, the van. I know. I got to work near the van the other day. It was dope. Everything,
Yeah.
the set deck, it's all so cool. I love that time period. I think it was such a brilliant choice that Jensen made to set it in that time period.
No, I feel like I feel like they need to add a dog to the show. I feel like
okay.
I feel like if they
I'll make that suggestion.
Yeah, if you added a dog to the show, I feel like it would just elevate it. It doesn't have to speak or nothing, of course, but like, you just add the dog in there, and just like, oh, it gives off that vibe. I really love it. No,
What
but this
kind
show,
of dog? Like a
I don't
mutt?
know, maybe like a German Shepherd, probably. A
Nice.
German Shepherd would probably go smooth with the cast. I think that would be.
Sniffing
No.
at all the criminals and monsters.
Yeah, have them do something, but I think that would just go with the flow. I don't know, but I love the whole 70s vibes and everything. It was amazing to see.
Yeah.
Is there like if you could switch characters with anybody on the show, who would you switch with?
On Winchesters?
Yeah, on Winchesters.
I see, like, JoJo seems like they're having a lot of fun playing that role. A lot of sass. I love that. But that role's clearly not for me. I'm happy with my role. I love Roxy. I don't want to change. I'm gonna stay with Roxy. Thank you.
Do you know if there's any like plans to see like from any characters from like the Supernatural like come back into the Winchesters?
Oh, I do know of one, but if I told you, I think that they would come and murder me.
I'm just happy we know there's somebody coming back.
Will tell you the vibe that I have picked up on from set and from all the creatives is that they want to give the fans what they want, because they know their audience and they know that they want to be rewarded with seeing those beloved characters back again. So I think you're going to be really happy.
I know, because like if you look at Supernatural, the Winchesters, you kind of see like the parallels of everybody's character. Like, Mary's kind of more like Dean, and then like John's kind of more like Sam. Is there like a character like from Supernatural that Roxy's kind of like parallel with?
No, she is original. She is an original. I want her to be her own distinct thing, and I think that you will be surprised with Roxy come episode 7.
Okay, is that like the episode that we saw like watch out for? Kyle, I usually ask this for people, like, hey, is there like an episode that you really?
I mean, that's the one I just completed, and there's some definite surprises in it.
That's dope.
Yeah.
How long does it take to like shoot an episode? Does it take like a week? Kind of like.
I think that every TV show is on a different schedule. Some shows, I mean, I've heard of shows that take 30 days to shoot an episode, which is crazy, and they have a lot of money. I think Winchesters is on maybe like a 10-day schedule. Let me see. I'm going there back again, but it's something like that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So who's like the funniest person like on set?
JoJo.
Okay, that's good. I didn't know. Okay, so he kind of matches the character. I feel it.
JoJo is non-binary, so they them. So
Oh, sorry.
yeah, no. I think it's I'm still, as everyone gets to know people, we just adjust to their pronouns. Anyhow, also JoJo, Meg, and I all love musical theater, so there was some singing on set. We were singing some Annie. So we all have that bond and love of the musicals. So yeah, that was a fun day.
Would you guys like to do like a musical like Winchester episode?
I have a feeling it will be down the line because I know that Meg, that's where she started in her career, and JoJo as well. I don't know about the rest of the cast and their singing abilities, but it seems like there is a lot of talent in that cast and they will be utilizing it.
Is there like a character that like that's in us that we haven't seen it that you're really excited for people to see outside of your character, of course?
I loved getting to know Bianca, who plays Millie, who plays John's mother. She's John's mother in the show. She's clearly a phenomenal actress, and I'm sure that Millie's got a lot of secrets buried in her closet, so I'm sure that those will all be coming out. I'm excited to see that.
Okay. I like it. No, this is I really like enjoying the show so far. Like, I don't know. What would you rank this as like the shows you have been on?
Well, I feel like I've just started with this one. I've shot 3 episodes so far, so it's still really early days for me. In terms of loving the look, we're at an 11 out of 10. I love that. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm just stoked to be on the show, and I don't quite know how this will resonate with everyone yet, but I've loved doing it, and I'm hopeful that there'll be some more.
I know like the franchise, like they dive into like heaven, hell, the empty, purgatory, apocalypse, all these other like just different things. Like which like realm are you excited for the Winchesters to explore the most?
Well, I think that the Akrita are really clouded in a lot of mystery, and I'm excited to see what they are and see how that plays out visually, because so much of the show is CGI, and like that scene we saw last night, they're like, okay, so this like spidery looking thing kind of crawls up to you, and so you have to use a lot of imagination, and then they're like, yeah, and then this red light is going to float up and go into your bottle. So I had this whole idea of what it was in my mind, and then watching the show, you see it really come to life, and that's the most fun part for me, is seeing how they're the same or different or what have you. But yeah, last night was the first time I actually got to see what I had been imagining on set, so that's always cool.
I want to know. I always like. I wish they would like release like behind the scene footage of like certain things like that. Like, so how did that even get put together? Like the little spider. Did it just have like somebody like in a spider costume, like just move like a spider?
No, they had this. It was all me imagining it, and then they put it in with CGI. But they did have a POV camera, so like the what it looks like as the Akrita comes up. So that was like a lower camera that the camera operator was holding down low, and they walk the path of the Akrita. So I got to follow that with my eyes, which made it really easy for me. And then it stopped where it stopped and looked up at me. So it was cool to see it from both angles.
No, that's okay, cool. Yeah. Is there anything like else like that you shot during the season? Like, yo, that's kind of crazy, like how they did that.
Totally. I mean, it's always impressive to see how things come together in the edit, and how all the CGI comes together. I've had pretty much all of my scenes have had some sort of element involved that's calling on the actors in the scenes to use their imagination because there's nothing physically there. Later on, there were actors, stunt performers in like full black clothes head to toe, and they were playing the parts of the larger creatures. So that was fun to actually get to interact with an actor as well. So we've done both, totally imaginary and humans playing them.
I know like Halloween's coming up, and then like seeing the character introduction of yours, like I feel like some people are gonna want to be like Roxy for Halloween. Like, what would
Oh,
it be
that'd
to
be
you?
dope.
Yeah,
That'd be so
yeah, what would that be to you? 'Cause I feel like there's gonna be a couple fans out there. You're gonna get see a couple posts like DJ
First of all, they
Roxy.
need a lot of leather. They need a lot of black leather. They need a curly, fringy bang, and a lot of eye makeup, and then they're good to go. Rings, a lot of cool rings. Yeah.
What are your like plans for Halloween? Do you have like your certain? Do you celebrate Halloween, or do you have like I'm about to go all out for Halloween? How's it?
Well, my sister does this annual party, and we go all out for that. We usually do like a family theme, and this year we did Despicable Me. My husband is away on a road trip, so it was just me, my daughter, and my son. And my son was a Minion, my daughter was Vector, and I was Gru.
Okay, I like it. That's
Yeah.
nice. Vector. I like the Vector one. That's
Yeah, she was funny. She kept doing, oh yeah, you know.
Oh no. So if you could bring like one of your past characters that you played into like the Winchester franchise, just to like give information out or just to help anyway, which character would you want to have?
I think Dottie from Agent Carter would be cool. I mean, she would probably be, if we followed like the timeline, she would probably be, you know, because that show was in the 1940s. This is in the 70s, so she would be 30 years older. I'm assuming still, you know, being a badass Black Widow. I think that would actually be dope to see her in that world.
Yo, I just realized like you play like a lot of like great characters, like even like for Poison Ivy for Batwoman too. Like, how was that like too? Because I was like, oh, that's
that was rad. That was so a year ago I did Poison Ivy for Batwoman. It was only 3 episodes, so it was quick. I wish we could have done more of it. But you know, obviously that character is incredibly valuable to DC, and they only let the character out for 3 episodes, but I'm so thankful for it. She's an iconic character in the comic book canon, and to bring her to life was a dream. I feel like her mission, what she stands for, is really relevant today. And personally, I just want to see more of Pamela and her taking down all the evils as a eco-terrorist. I think it's pretty cool.
I just feel like you still want to play Poison Ivy for your response. Like, I know there's like new leadership on DC now. Like, is there a way you like, hey, I'm gonna have to run that back?
Look, I think it's also just politically, I really believe in Poison Ivy's message and mission, and I think that she's the sort of I know that some view her as a villain. I see her as a hero. I think that she's the sort of hero that we need, and it would be really great to see what Poison Ivy would be doing right now with climate change and all that's threatening our planet right now. I think that it's really relevant.
No, like my mom, like my sister's like one of her favorite characters, Poison Ivy, and she's like, there's no such thing as a villain. She's not a villain. You can't.
Thank you. Yes.
No, she goes so hard for Poison Ivy to like no, that's like one of her favorite characters in the DC universe. So
nice. She has
exquisite
taste.
No, yeah. Is there like a character like I know back on like the DC subject? Is there like a character from the DC like universe that you would want to play outside of Poison Ivy?
No, she was it. She is still it. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's more. I'm not a big comic book reader. I more knew Poison Ivy from the movies. Uma Thurman. That was more, and the cartoons from when I was a kid. That's what I knew her from. And then after I was cast in the role, I went back and I read, as many comic books that I could get my hands on, and watched the new animated series that Lake Bell does the voice of, and watched Gotham, where 3 actresses played her beautifully over different ages. There's been a lot of iterations of her, and she's got many different origin stories, and there's so much material there to get into. But she was, for me, the ultimate. Yeah.
I know like a lot of people are petitioning to bring back Batwoman. Like, would you want to, like, if they do bring it back, like, would you want to be back in Poison Ivy?
Oh
If
yeah,
possible?
absolutely. I loved working on that show. I working with Victoria, Javicia, Megan, everyone on that entire set, were Nicole. Oh my gosh, I can go on. But and there were some actors I didn't even really get to work with. I didn't get to work with Rachel, tiny bit with Cam. It was all very quick, but it was all very special what we had. But they did 44 great episodes of TV. I look at it as a success. And they had a lot to deal with in terms of creating Javicia's character and establishing that. Not an easy task to do, and I applaud them for all that great TV that they created.
I know you got like a couple projects coming out. I think the week, things like this. I don't know if you could talk about, but if you can say anything, like, what should we expect?
Week is a short film that I did, that's out in some film festivals right now. It was an absolute joy to work on. It's about mental health. The Company You Keep is a darling, really fun queer rom-com that I have a supporting role in. That was a lot of fun. Working on queer projects, queer written, directed, or are always really, really special and near and dear to me. I've been lucky enough to play, like, I don't know, is it 3 queer women now? Well, the jury's still out on Roxy, but I've made up my mind about her. But that's always my favorite, and I adore all of my fans that identify as LGBTQ plus, and I'm just all about having that representation and celebration, and looking forward to doing more of it.
You play like so many like great characters. Like, has there ever been a role that you passed up on that you like, man, I wish I kind of didn't pass up on?
I never really pass on work. Look, it's gig to gig for me, and I'm always thinking that every job is a gift from God, and I'm thrilled to have it. There were times when I had just given birth to my son or my daughter, and I was unable to do things, or during the pandemic, I was living in New Zealand and with my husband and our children, and there was one thing, but I couldn't fly back for it because I wasn't going to be able to get back in the country. And I still wish I could have done all those jobs. But I really don't pass on work. I'm always thrilled to have it.
Oh, sweet. Has there ever been like a role that you really wanted that you didn't get?
Yes, hundreds.
Is it like a is it like a specific one? Like, man, I really want, like, you know what I'm
There's a lot. I mean, how much time do we have, Wayne? um yeah, there's a lot. There's some plays that still break my heart. There was a recent TV show. I mean, it's there's a lot of heartbreak in this industry, unfortunately.
But that's good because you keep going forward and you keep
Right.
making roles happen. So yeah, that's good. So any actors listening, you gotta keep going.
One foot in front of the other,
I got some fan questions for you. I didn't
Oh,
get
God.
the yeah. One person wanted to know, like, what's the meaning of your bracelet you always wear?
The bracelet I always wear?
Yeah, like, what's the meaning?
Oh, this one. Oh, it's a love cuff from my husband, and it's kind of like a wedding band sort of thing, but it's a bracelet.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Cartier. They've been around forever. It's sort of timeless, and you need this special key to take it off. And my husband, Eamon, gave it to me.
Okay, that's nice. That's
Yeah.
nice. Oh, another person wants to know, how did you get started in acting?
So when I was really little, like 5 years old, I did a lot of community theater, like musical theater after school, you know, in different plays. The first play I was in was The Wizard of Oz, and I played a munchkin. And then as I grew up, I just did more and more plays. I was in, you know, I would do like 3 or 4 a year. And from there, I just got more and more serious about it, and went to college at North Carolina School of the Arts, and then moved to New York, and just started auditioning, you know?
So, just like this is not a fan question. This is like for me. If you weren't an actor, like what would you like see yourself doing?
That's a hard one. I think if I had to do something else, I mean, it's funny because I do have another full-time job, which is a mother to my children, and that is a lot. So
I'd be feeling bad because like my sister, like my nephew, be running around everywhere. He's like, oh, I see. This could be very difficult. 24/7 job.
thank you. So that is my other full-time job. But if I had to do something else that wasn't acting or at all in the entertainment industry, I would probably say psychology.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like it. All right, back to the fan questions. Somebody wants to know, will we ever get like a Jane, the Virgin cast reunion?
Yes, can they make that happen, please? I would live. I just actually watched Jaime on The View the other day, and he was singing for his mariachi movie, and it was incredible. I need to see that movie. But I do keep in touch with Ozzy and Yada, and obviously everybody on social media. But I adore every single person in that cast so much, and it was an absolute dream for 5 years. It was crazy the amount of love on that set.
I know this is me again.
We're
I know,
bouncing
like,
back and forth.
yeah, I know. All these actually pretty good questions. Oh, I know, like we do. There's like the era of reboots right now. Like everybody's getting reboot. Like, can you see that show being rebooted in like maybe 5 to 10 years?
Absolutely. I don't think it'll be a show reboot. I think that Jenny would do like maybe a trilogy of films, or something like that, or maybe just one film. I could see something like that happening. But Rose died, you know. I would need a prequel. I would need a alternate universe or something in Jane's mind. They wanted to make it really, really clear that Rose was capital D dead. So I was impaled on a statue, and there was like, we have to have the dead shot of her face. They wanted it to be so clear. It's a rule in telenovelas, the villain has to die. It is a rule. And that show was simultaneously mimicking and mocking and a love letter to that genre, so they could not break that rule. And I
Yeah.
respect that. I respect Rose deserves to die.
Maybe they'll bring you back for like somebody's like torture
Hallucination.
flashback, hallucinate, something like that.
Yeah, we got it. We'll figure it out.
Another person want to know, have you ever experienced any supernatural paranormal stuff?
Whoa. No, but I would love to.
No, yeah, that would be, yeah, no, that would
Yeah.
be. And the last one is like, who is the funniest person you have ever worked with?
Ooh. Oof, that is really, really hard. I have worked with some really, really funny people. Like funniest in their performance or like funniest on set?
Both. You can say both.
I mean, I still die. I mean, I'm mentioning him again, but I still die watching Jaime on Jane the Virgin. I think he was the absolute funniest ever. Um, on the last ship, Kevin was always cracking me up on that set. Um, uh, Agent Carter had so many hilarious people in it. Wynn Everett, Curry, James Darcy. I mean, there's some of the funniest, most hilarious people. I did a movie for HBO called The Leisure Class, and Ed Weeks and Tom Bell were like a comedy duo made in heaven. They actually had done a comedy show together in the UK years before, and then they somehow magically, serendipitously were reunited to work together on this movie, and that was absolutely hilarious to watch. And I mean, I worked with Annie Potts. We did a pilot together that didn't get picked up, and she is just a comedic legend. I mean, designing women like Ghostbusters, she is like, to me, a queen of comedy. It's very hard for me to to pick.
No, it's understandable. It's understandable. My last question for you today is if you could give like 3 tips for like actors that like want to make it in the industry, like or just trying to get like they're on a show or a movie or whatever, just gets it started. Like, what would your like 3 tips be?
3 tips. Number one, I would say really examine and be sure of why you want to do this. I think if you want to do it for fame, you're going to have a really hard time. I think if you want to do it because you really just want to act, and then your heart's in the right place for it. Number two, I would say train. I would go, for me, like I needed to go to school, but I know everybody's different. But for me, that was a huge part of being successful, or having any success that I've had thus far. And number three, have a support community, other actors, other people that believe in you and support you. You can help them with their auditions. They can help you with yours. You go see your friends' work. They come see yours. Having a community, I think when you're going after doing anything difficult, is so important, not just for advancing your career, but for your mental health and your well-being. It's super important.
Okay. I like those. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you taking the time out. I know you're very busy.
Oh, Wayne, I'm so happy we made it work. I'm so sorry that I had to cancel and was sick for our first go.
No, I understandable. As like when kids get sick, that means everybody in the house gets sick. So
Took me out.
I
I was like, I sounded like a monster. I was like, this is not going to make for a good podcast.
I definitely appreciate you coming on though. I appreciate it.
Yeah, well, I applaud you and everything you're doing. So great to see all your success, and I look forward to following the rest of it.
Thank you. Bye.